Hi everyone, Chris here from IELTS Advantage with another live lesson, and today we're going to look at how to get a Band 7 in IELTS Writing Task 2. This is probably the most common question we get from people emailing us saying, I'm really struggling because I keep getting 6.5 or I keep getting 6 and I need a Band 7 and they just don't know where to turn or what to do. And one of the common complaints is, why don't IELTS just tell us what they want and then we can give it to them? Well, they actually do. If you go on the internet, look at the band descriptors or Google IELTS Task 2 marking criteria, they actually give you the public version of this, and the private version is not that dissimilar. There's nothing really in the private version which is that different from the public version. So if you look at this, you'll see Band 9, Band 8, Band 7, Band 6. Here, Band 7, they tell you exactly what a Band 7 essay looks like. So the problem is that a lot of the language in here, it's not very clear, it's difficult to understand, it's ambiguous, and then that causes a more serious problem, which is there's a lot of myths about what this actually is, a lot of misunderstanding, and a lot of just bad information out there. Now, there's a huge amount of actual things that you need to do when you look at it. What I'm going to do in this lesson is take the 7 key things for task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, and grammatical range and accuracy. These are the 7 things that I think are most important. They're all quite important, but if you do these 7 things, you are well on your way to getting a Band 7 for Task 2. So let's look at the first one. So what I'm going to do is take the exact wording from the official marking criteria here, and then give you a set of easy to understand questions that you can ask yourself, and if you can answer those questions, you'll be able to do these things. So just making it as easy and as simple as possible for you. So the first one, which states, presents a clear position throughout the response. Okay, and you'll see this word clear in this document many times. They want you to be as clear as possible. But what does this mean, presents a clear position throughout the response? So the first thing is, did you understand the question? So if you didn't understand the question, then you can't present a clear response throughout your essay. The first step before you put pen to paper is understanding what the question actually means. And there's a very specific strategy that you can learn, like step 1, do this, step 2, do this, step 3, do this. Most students don't learn that. Most students go through it too quickly and don't understand the question. And if you don't understand the question, there's no way that your answer is going to be clear. The second thing related to this is, what do you think about it? What do you think about the question? Is it clear what you think about the question? If you can't answer that question, then you definitely do not have a clear position throughout your essay. So you should be able to look at your essay and say for 100% sure, anyone reading this will have a very clear understanding about what I think about the question that has been asked. Another way to think about it is, the examiner should be able to read your essay once and understand very clearly and easily what you think about the question. For the vast majority of people, that is not the case. That's why for the vast majority of people, they're not getting a 7 or above. And there's very easy things that you can do to help yourself and to make it very clear to the examiner, I've understood the question and here's a clear answer to that question. Second thing, presents, extends and supports main ideas. So first thing, are your main ideas clear? All right, can I look at the piece of paper that you've got your answer on and just say, yep, I understand exactly what their ideas are? Did you explain your main ideas? In other words, have you explained how your main ideas answer the question? So it's fine to think of main ideas, that's great, but that's just the first step. The second step is actually explaining how those main ideas answer the question. And third, did you support with examples? So did you support your main ideas and show how they answer the question by supporting it with evidence, with examples? So you'll hear me saying all the time, make your ideas clear and then use explanations and examples. I didn't just make that up. It comes from the official marking criteria. And again, it should be extremely clear and easy for the examiner to look at your essay and say, okay, here's the main idea, they presented it, here's their explanation, they've extended it, here's the example, they've supported it. It It should be really, really easy for them to find that. They shouldn't be, having to read it 5 times, being like, where's the main ideas? Are there any explanations? Are there examples? I'm not sure. And again, there's very easy things that you can do that will help the examiner understand that and make it very clear to them. Number 3, so we're moving on from the first bit. So we've looked at Band 7 for task achievement. Now we're moving on to coherence and cohesion. Again, there's a lot of other things in here, but we're just looking at the main ones that I think will really, really help you. So it states logically organizes information and ideas. Well, what does that mean, logically organizes information? So how do you organize information in an essay? Well, you write an introduction, you write main body paragraphs, and you write a conclusion. Why do we write an introduction? To make it easy for the person reading it to understand what is coming up in the rest of the essay. Why do we write a main body paragraph? To get into the detail, to really show our main ideas and to extend them and support them. Why do we write a conclusion? To summarize what we've just written above there, and to show the reader, this is my opinion again, and this is what I just discussed. Here are my main points again. So can you do those things effectively? So it's not about writing an introduction, writing a main body paragraph, writing a conclusion. It's about writing an effective introduction, an effective main body paragraph, and then another effective main body paragraph, and then an effective conclusion. And you have to understand the elements of those 3 things and how to write them and how to produce them on test day. And if you can do those, then you will have logically organized your information and ideas. And again, it should be instantaneous. It should be, the examiner looks at it and looks, okay, they've done the right thing here, 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 everything's clear, everything's easy to understand, everything is logical. And again, there's easy ways to learn that. Number 4, presents a clear central topic within each paragraph. So looking at your main body paragraphs, what is each main body paragraph about? Many students can't answer that. So one of the things that we do when our students join our courses, we look at their writing and say, what's that main body paragraph about? I don't know. So if you don't know, the examiner is definitely not going to know. There should be, each main body paragraph should be about one clear main topic. Second, does it have a clear topic sentence? How do you show the reader that this is what my main body paragraph is about? You use a topic sentence. Do you know how to use them? Can you actually use them effectively? And finally, is the rest of it about that? So when you write your topic sentence, let's say it's about A, but the rest of your paragraph is about B and C. If your topic sentence is about A, then the rest of your paragraph should be about A as well. It should all match up and line up and be coherent and be cohesive. Number 5, so we're moving on to vocabulary now. So we've looked at task achievement, we've looked at coherence and cohesion. Now we're going to move on to lexical resource, which is just another way of saying vocabulary. So let's have a look at vocabulary. So what the official marking criteria states is uses a sufficient range of vocabulary to allow some precision and flexibility. So I want you to read that and think about, is this a very high bar? Is this a very high level for Band 7? Sufficient. What does sufficient mean? It's like good enough. It doesn't mean amazing, doesn't mean mind-blowing, it doesn't even mean good. It just means sufficient. Like if somebody told me you are sufficient at something, I wouldn't be very happy because it's not a very high bar. It's just good enough. And allows some precision and flexibility. So not an amazing amount of flexibility and not a really good amount of precision, just some precision. So it's actually it's lower than you think, the standard. But the problem is that it's the way this is taught. The way this is taught on most websites and YouTube channels and all of these different places that teach IELTS is they're teaching you, like, use this list of words or use high-level words or use band 9 words. What happens there is you just don't know how to use the basics, all right? You have to learn how to walk before you can run. So many of you are learning how to run, but many of you are tripping over when you're running because you don't know how to walk first. And basically what this means is, do you know how to use enough words to discuss that topic? So if you've given a topic, let's say, on traffic congestion, do you have enough vocabulary to enable you to freely discuss that and with just some precision and flexibility? Do you have enough? A sufficient amount? Not a really, really high amount, just enough. Or if it's about global warming, do you know enough topic-specific words about global warming that allow you to do that? Or are you like, I know what it means in my own language, but I can't really express it in English? If that's the case, then you're probably not at a band 7 yet. But the key here is use the vocabulary that you already know, improve it every single day, but don't be trying to use these high level, band 9 words when, you need to be at a band 7. 6, may produce occasional errors in word choice, spelling, and or word formation. So this is again about vocabulary, and may produce occasional errors in word choice. So what does occasional mean? Well, it means like infrequent, all right? So this means that most of your sentences, more than 50% of your sentences, should have no vocabulary errors in them. So the question you should be asking yourself is, how many sentences have no vocabulary errors? If you have 14 sentences and 8 of those sentences have no vocabulary errors in them, that's great. But if 8 of those sentences have lots of vocabulary errors in them, or even just one vocabulary error in 8 different sentences, then you might be in trouble when it comes to a band 7. So what happens if students learn a list of high-level words? What's going to happen in the essay is they're going to make lots and lots and lots of errors. This is why I always say, do not use vocabulary unless you're 100% sure about what you're using, because it's going to lead to lots of errors. And IELTS tells you that if you make errors in most of your sentences, you're not getting a band 7. You're going to get a lower one. Let's move on to grammar. What does it say about grammar? Produces frequent error-free sentences. Frequent, like more than 50%. All right, most of the time, you are producing sentences that have no errors in them. An error-free sentence. An error-free sentence is a sentence with no grammatical errors in them. To get a band 7, most of your sentences should have no grammatical errors in them. So the question you should be asking yourself is, how many sentences have no grammatical errors? If lots of your sentences, like most of them, have even a tiny little error, like a punctuation error or an article error or a preposition error, you're probably not going to get a band 7 for grammar. That's the standard that you need to meet. And what happens with grammar, very similar to vocabulary, most students focus on range, not accuracy. So they think that if they include lots of complex sentences, lots of different tenses, many different types of grammar structures, they're going to get a band 7. When in reality, they will also be looking at accuracy, not just range. So if you're using grammar you don't really know how to use, or you have lots and lots of little errors, then it's impossible for you to get a band 7. And again, it's very easy to fix that, but you need to fix your mindset. You need to go from, I'm trying to show off and impress the examiner, to, I would just want to write an essay that's clear and easy to understand and doesn't have a lot of grammar or vocabulary errors in it. If you change your mindset, that it really does help and is going to help you. So those are the things that you need to focus on. But how are you going to do that? So I've told you things like you need to improve your grammar, your vocabulary, improve your introductions, your main body paragraphs, your idea generation, understanding the question, stating your main ideas, developing your main ideas, extending them, supporting them with evidence, all of these different things that I've told you that you need to do, but how are you going to do that? Well, luckily, we have a brand new free course called IELTS Essay Builder. It starts on Monday the 19th, so it's Friday the 16th today, and you can join it right now. All you have to do is just click the link below in the description. It's also in the comments if you're watching live, and it will take you here, or you can just Google IELTS Essay Builder, and it will show you everything that we're doing next week. It's a 5-day free course. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Monday we're working on introductions, then main body paragraphs, then conclusions. We're going to give you 3 lessons, 3 homework tasks, and 3 feedback sessions to get feedback on your work. Last time we did this about 6 months ago, it was really successful. At the moment we have about 15,000 people who have joined, I think just under 15,000, and it starts on Monday. It's totally free. All you have to do is enter your name, enter your email address, click the button, and you'll get into the free course. Also, if you join early, there's some bonus material. I just posted a grammar lesson, a bonus grammar lesson in the group, all about simple versus complex sentences. It's actually one of my VIP lessons, so you get that for free, and we'll also be posting some stuff about vocabulary over the weekend for those of you who join early. So get in there, and I'll see you on Monday, hopefully. There'll be no live lessons next week because we'll be totally focused on this. So if you do want to get in there, just enter your name and email address and you'll be able to get in. Thank you very much, guys. Hope that you enjoyed that. And if you need anything, feel free to get in touch. Bye-bye.